So you want to go to art school, huh? Hello everyone, my name is Lily and I'm the creative director here at Bubblegum Cartoons, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about whether or not you should go to art school. A lot of you guys have been asking me, hey Lily, you went to art school, do you have any tips about if I have what it takes to make it in art school or if I would like it? And so I'm going to share some of my experiences here with you guys today, as well as tell you what you guys have in store. So without any further ado, let's get started. The number one thing you need to do is set your career goal. You want to go to art school, you want to do something creative, well make sure you definitely know exactly what you would like to do. I don't mean like storyboard artist versus being a character animator. You should have a good idea, but it's always going to change when you're in art school. Everyone changes majors or they change their career goals. I personally went into college wanting to be a character designer. That kind of transformed into being a character animator, and now I really want to be a storyboard artist, and with Bubblegum Cartoons I'm kind of everything. So definitely set a career goal. You never know what's going to happen though, so many wonderful things could happen in your future, but definitely make sure it's art related. Definitely ask yourself if you are committed to going to an art school. At my art school we had lots of different majors, from painting, we even had fibers, which is so silly, we had fashion design, animation, we also had things like illustration, graphic design. However, we didn't have any like marine biology or like journalism or psychology majors. So if you decide halfway through, you know what, I'm not really feeling illustration, you have to completely transfer schools. So make sure if you want to go to an art school, you are totally set in doing art and only art. You will have, of course, classes you can take in those subjects. However, the whole entire school, you can't major in anything but art. Which is also a wonderful thing because all of the classrooms are specially tiered to all your artistic needs. We have so many wonderful like machines and facilities and all those kinds of things. If you're not quite sure or you don't think that an art school is totally for you, you can always do an art program at a regular college. They'll have, you know, different majors, so if you do say, hey, halfway through I want to be a psych major or, you know, an engineering major, you can totally do that and transfer without having to transfer completely different schools. So that's definitely something you should think about. Also, you should really think about what you want to get out of art school. Do you want to make new friends, learn a lot, explore different kinds of mediums of art? That is wonderful. Would you want to go just so you can wear beanie caps and drink coffee out of a mason jar? Please don't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get really serious here for a minute.
You've got the dream, but not the drive.
Do not go to art school because you like the hipster aesthetic. We have a lot of people who come in every freshman class and they think art is so cool, art is like, I like to draw and like I don't want to do math and science, that's boring, I don't want to do that in college, I just want to draw all day. There's a lot to art school, more than just drawing. It's a lot of patience, hard work. You have to be super committed and also think about your future. Yeah, it's fun and cute to wear scarves at the time, but when you graduate, what's going to happen to you then?
Now your bangs are curled, your lashes twirl, but still the world is cruel.
So please do not go to art school just because you think it would be fun or aesthetic. Please don't do that. Believe me, a lot of people drop out after freshman year because they went to art school thinking it would be like this fun little playtime, but they realized it was a lot of work and it was super demanding and they couldn't keep up, and they gave up. So please make sure you're 100% passionate about art, and you have a love for it and you see yourself in a career in art. The next thing I would like to talk to you guys about is patience. You must have a lot of patience to go to art school. Will you be willing to draw things that you don't like? Because you're gonna get drawing prompts where you have to draw, like, personally I hate drawing things mechanical like trains and such. And they're gonna make you do that. They're gonna make you do things like form study where you do 3D pieces, they're gonna make you do 2D pieces. You have to learn a lot of different forms of art and it's not gonna be your favorite, and you have to ask yourself, can I be told what to do for a little bit? But I think if you stick it out, especially through what we had at Mass Art was the foundation year, and that whole first year you're not in your major. You just learn the foundations of fine art. A lot of people have a lot of trouble with it, but if you have the patience and you can be told what to draw, then I think you'll really enjoy it. The next very important thing about patience is, can you sit through as well as give constructive critique? Every single class you have will have a critique period, and it could last all class, which is 5 hours long. My classes were anywhere between 4 to 6 hours long. Typically they were 5. And the whole time you could be going around the room looking at people's paintings and talking about them. So you have to make sure that you have that patience to sit through it. Also take that critique, but give it as well. And that doesn't mean like saying, oh, I like it, I don't like it, it reminds me of this TV show. You have to say like, oh, I think, you know, that this might work better if you add this color or you shade it this way. I think it could really improve that way. They're never personal attacks or, you know, just straight up compliments all the time. So if you guys want me to talk more about that, I can make another video. Comment below if you would like to see that. The third thing is, do you have the drive and the passion? Art school is all about passion and the love for it. So if you are doing animation and you find yourself hating your film and you hate animation and you get this dread in your heart when you do it, maybe animation's not for you, maybe illustration's not for you. Make sure you really have this drive that it's not going to just be within these next 4 years of your life, but it'll be for the rest of your life, because art should be your pride and your joy, and it won't always be easy, won't always be fun. However, it should be fun most of the time. It should give you joy and fulfillment. You should be getting something from it. So if you really have that passion and that drive, definitely go to art school. Number 4 is culture. I talked a little bit about before people who go to art school just for the fun of it, because drawing is easy.
You've got the dream, but not the drive.
There's a lot of good culture and there's a lot of unhealthy culture that goes on in art school. One of my favorite things when I went to the Laguna College of Art and Design was just meeting all these wonderful artists from all around the world and seeing their sketchbooks. I think one of the things I learned the most from art school was looking at other people's sketchbooks, and they really inspired me and made me think about, you know, form and shading all like completely differently than I've ever thought about it before. So I loved that culture of always being around creative people and seeing their work and, you know, have it influence mine, and I can influence other people's work. So that aspect of culture was super, super awesome at art school. There is definitely an ugly side to art school culture, and that is the competitive self-deprivation. This might be a kind of an odd concept, so I'll explain it to you guys. So this is when people kind of compete in class the next day about how bad they're taking care of themselves, and somehow it's like cool to not take care of yourself. I'm gonna be a mom here and say it's not cool to not take care of yourself. Please get plenty of sleep, drink water, you know, stretch every 20 minutes. Please take care of yourself. So the next day, students would always come in with their projects and be like, oh my god, like I worked so hard on this. It took me like, I only got 2 hours of sleep and that's it. And then the next person would come up and be like, oh yeah, well I only got 1 hour of sleep and I haven't eaten in 24 hours. And then a third person would come in and they'd be like, I stayed up all night and I only, I don't know, drank the sweat off my brow. And it was this really weird competitive thing that people would do in class, and it was in every department, every school I went to. It was super, super common, and people can get really wrapped up in that and, you know, start to not take care of themselves as well, because it's super cool to, stop using air bunnies, those are really uncool. It was really uncool not to take care of yourself, and please do not get wrapped up in that culture. You will be very unhappy very quickly. Your quality of work is not your best at 2 a.m., especially if you continuously don't get sleep, or, you know, all you had for breakfast was a coffee and a cigarette. Number 5, I hope you guys are ready to explore. Art school is all about exploring new mediums and refining the one that you have chosen in particular. Like I said, I loved taking all these fun classes. I took like jewelry making class, and I don't mean like putting beads on string. I mean like I was soldering metal, I was using patinas. We were like, oh, it was so cool, I loved it. I took a fashion design class, which really helped me with my costume design for my characters, and I could do that within an art school. There's so many wonderful electives I could take, and if you guys like plan your schedule accordingly, you can really take so many wonderful classes. Number 6, and this is a tough topic, is finance. Art school is very expensive, just like any other school. I went to a relatively inexpensive school called Mass Art, and it was about 10 grand a year before, you know, cost of living, and it's very expensive to live in Boston, which is where I'm from. You can always apply just like any other school for financial aid or grants or anything like that. So definitely keep in mind, especially with a really harsh job market when you get out of school, definitely keep in mind the finances. However, please do not let finances hold you back from discovering your dream. It is so important to follow your passion, and money should not stand in your way. So if you have a practical career goal in mind, you have the patience, you have the drive, you're ready for that art school culture, and you have your finances all in order, then I think you are totally ready for art school and you should totally go. If any of this seems kind of intimidating and you don't think you should go, believe me, a lot of this is intimidating, and if I watched this video years ago before I went to art school, then I might be like, oh, I don't know, but I want to let you guys know that art school is hard. It's not easy. But it was so much fun. I met so many wonderful people, and I really got to refine my skills, and I recommend going. I liked going, but of course you do not need to go to art school to be a successful artist. There's this one girl in my sophomore class, and she was so talented. She was an amazing artist, and she actually dropped out from school because she got a job offer. You don't need to go to art school to be successful. However, I thought it was important for me personally to go to refine my skill, to network with other artists, and really like get to know me as an artist. This video might seem a little negative, so I'm gonna talk about my experience in art school. So if you guys didn't know, I went to the Massachusetts College of Art and Design in Boston. Do I regret going? I do not regret going to Mass Art. However, I do wish I researched it better because I didn't really realize how experimental the school was. The school was all about like animating reflective garbage and shining lights on it and making whale sounds over it, and like that was art and that was beautiful. But my cartoons that, you know, had voices and, you know, they looked like they belonged on TV, and they had like a character-driven story plot, the professors were just kind of, oh, that's really mainstream. And so I feel like another school might have been a better fit for me. However, I wasn't really ready to leave Boston yet, and it was a good animation program, and there were so many wonderful people at that school that I don't regret going, but I do kind of regret not researching it a little better. So definitely make sure you kind of get a taste of the personality of the school that you're applying to. Another school I went to was the Laguna College of Art and Design. So what I did was I took a mobility semester, which is when two schools kind of trade students between them. So I took the second semester of my junior year and I flew to sunny California, where I currently live. And I just wanted to test it out, see if I like the waters here, because I wanted to get a job here one day. So I just wanted to come to California, see if I liked it, and I loved it. Laguna College of Art and Design was wonderful. It was this teeny tiny little school in this valley in Laguna Beach, and it was like 500 kids, and these were some of the most talented students I have ever seen. Like, why did they accept me? Like, they were incredibly talented, and my dorm was like 10-minute walk from the beach. I went to the beach every weekend. Oh, it was beautiful, it was wonderful. We had retired Disney artists as teachers. The curriculum was a little outdated, so the teachers would teach you what they knew, which is when they were animators at Disney in the 80s and 90s. So I could get a job as a 2D animator in the 80s or 90s, no problem. But I mean, not to alarm you, but we're not in the 90s anymore. So that was the one kind of thing that wasn't so great. So I think having the combination of Mass Art and Laguna Beach, like having them together was perfect, but I think either of them by themselves wouldn't have really been for me. And the third school, yes, I went to a third school in my 4-year experience, was Showa Women's University, and this was in Tokyo. I went to Tokyo in the summer of my sophomore year, and it was like the best summer of my life. I loved it so much. I did not learn animation in particular. We did women's studies and cultural studies there. It was wonderful. I got to live in Tokyo and I got to go to school there, and that's really what inspired Demonic Crepes for me was, you know, being an artist in a brand new city, being in a brand new place. And I feel like every time I sit down to animate Demonic Crepes, I'm transported back to Shibuya, to Tokyo, where I went to school and where I lived, and that is just so beautiful to me, and I love that. So Showa Women's University had a campus in Boston, which was kind of like the study abroad campus for the one in Tokyo. So I kind of helped out. I showed those students around Boston, and I taught them about like American culture and stuff, and they said, hey, we actually have this summer program, are you interested? And I'm like, yeah, okay. I got a scholarship. I went completely for free. All my classes, my housing, some of my food was all completely free. I just had to pay for the plane ticket over, and it was so wonderful. I got to go to the Ghibli Museum, which was a dream come true. It was this little tiny like museum in the middle of nowhere. Like we had to take 2 buses and walk a bunch of miles to get there, and it was wonderful. I got to see the screening of this animated short that had never seen the light of day before, and Hayao Miyazaki had this really amazing rule where you could not bring your cell phones indoors, or you couldn't have them on you at all, because he wanted you to experience it completely. He didn't want you to worry about like Snapchatting or texting your friends. Like, put it away and enjoy and just live in this space, in this moment. And that was so inspirational for me as an animator. So I definitely recommend you guys don't just stay in one spot. Like, try other schools, go abroad while you can. And just a little quick update for you Demonic Crepes fans. We have completely finished animation on the pilot episode, and I've sent it off to my composer, and she is currently scoring the whole thing. We're chatting back and forth about the theme song, and I'm going to be working on more promotional material for the release. So super excited. It's been super fun, an awesome ride, and so you should definitely be expecting more updates soon, so please subscribe for the premiere. Alright you guys, that's all I have for today. If you have any more questions, please comment down below. I would love to help you guys out. You know, I made this channel to help you aspiring artists, as well as share my lovely passion here. And remember to stay inspired.